Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a Screenwriter's Rant on Snakehead, a movie about Asian gangs in New York City and Chinatown in the possibly 90s, 2000s, somewhere in that era, I think. And the premise of the movie is pretty classic. You've got, instead of Italian immigrants, you have Chinese immigrants trying to make it in the rough and tumble world of New York City. They're in Chinatown, and this woman doesn't want to do a lot of crap work. She wants to move up, so she starts working for a female boss who's got a human smuggling operation and a drug operation. It's probably tied into the Triads. Typically, the Triads don't take any female operators, but all families will operate with anybody who know how to earn. If you know how to earn, you got an operation. They'll exploit you, but you'll never be a full fledged member. So, Snakehead is probably in reference to, sounds like the name of a tong, like a street gang. So, and Snakehead sounds exactly the name of one. So these are the members of the gang, and it's a classic story. Slowly she moves up the ranks, and she does more and more because she's capable and more ruthless. And by the end of it, she changes as a person. Here's her friend, and he starts to sense the change in her. She ends up killing people. Makes more and more money, but it gets more and more dangerous. And this is the world of crime, and you witness her rise, and you're gonna respect her power, but you're also gonna witness her fall, because eventually, another more ruthless gang comes along. They kill your guys, they infringe on your territory, and you have no choice but to respond. And eventually, you get caught or killed. Eventually, they take you out, or you get taken out by the feds. Either way. So let's see who wrote this thing. Written and directed by Evan Jackson Leong. And I don't know any of the actors, don't recognize any of them, but this is my kind of movie, man. Oh yeah, hardcore crime stuff. Get to see the world of the Triads, or near Triads, I should say. And typically the Triads, they don't like to speak English. They'll only speak Chinese. I want to say, is it Mandarin? Is it Mandarin that they speak? I think Mandarin. A lot of them. There are many members who refuse to speak anything else, because that's one of the ways they hide themselves. You have to know Mandarin to even understand what the hell they're talking about, and a lot of people don't in the United States. Now it would be different, but back then, forget it. So it's just another layer that would throw the feds off. But yeah, I mean, this is where crime happens. It happens in big cities like this. People are desperate. They need money. They want to make it in the world. They fall into crime. And this is part of the problem with cities in general. They're just too populous, and there's not enough opportunity, is what it boils down to. There's too much squeezing the little guy, which I ranted about in my other video. So go check that out on Bitchute and Rumble. So the first act, I mean, it's a classic story. First act, she comes to America. She's doing all this grunt work. It sucks. She's obviously more capable, and eventually, first her boss is like, shut up and just do the work. But eventually, she makes her way up, agrees to do something, does a favor, and then next thing you know, she's on her way. Right. Second act, it's about her rise. She's making deals. Now she's making real money. She comes up with ideas that, because she's new to the criminal organization, she's seeing at it with fresh eyes. She goes at it more ruthlessly, maybe, than some of the others. She's more capable. Next thing you know, she's a rising star. She's calling the shots now. Now she starts to get a little greedy. Now she starts to get a little ambitious. In the third act, looks like she makes they do some human smuggling, and then they switch over to drugs, maybe. Maybe there's more money in it at the time. Kind of depends upon the era. Right now, it's more the human trafficking seems to be making the most money, as opposed to the drugs. Probably too much competition in that area, and too much product, quite frankly. It'll be interesting to see what happens after the Taliban take over Afghanistan, whether they burn the poppy fields and you see heroin shoot through the roof, and then other criminal gangs will benefit in some ways because they will have to get heroin from other locations. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Taliban continue to, because they were very anti-heroin back in the day. But Snakehead, yeah, this is a movie. If you like crime dramas, I'm all about it. Third act, she gets caught, goes to prison, dies. You know, it always ends badly. Nobody has a happy ending in organized crime. Nobody like, well, she lived to a ripe old age and had many children. No, that doesn't happen, because it's always a dark, tragic figure. You know, it's kind of a. I always, when I was doing Complete Mafia for D20, I always looked at it as a modern day fantasy. And you know, from a role playing perspective, it was a lot of fun playing a criminal because you're in the modern day. You know, you're taking whatever you want, however you can get it, and you don't have to suffer the consequences of actually, you know, going to jail or being killed. You know, and your character dies, you just make another one. But some people actually live that life. So Snakehead, I'm down. Look for it. Did we have a date on this? No. God, I would assume probably this fall, winter. I'm down. We'll see ya tomorrow.